is. In my final thoughts, I'll personally say I like Kick-Ass more, but for our next review, why don't we review something that's similar to these movies, but we really like to explain what's wrong with them.
Yeah, and also, we'll give more details on that, and then we'll review this film. It has a bit of a plank state to it, but she'll let you know.
Next week we're reviewing Blankman.
Yeah.
You know, Sam, Kick-Ass is just shit.
But what about Sky High?
It's meh.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Hat and Shades, where we call, review, and rent things you may have seen. Now...
And now I'm not wearing a hoodie.
Yes, you're not wearing a hoodie. Right, last time we talked about Kick-Ass and Sky High. Well, this time we're going to talk about Blankman. Shall we begin?
Yeah.
Story. Right. Now, what can we say about the story? The story goes is the urban city of... New York.
Probably.
Or whatever urban city. Crime rate is high to the point where there's influence from mobsters trying to get into government. And you start off an awkward nerd, or a socially awkward nerd.
Basically, if you read a textbook and you saw the word nerd, this would be the picture.
Who becomes a crime fighter later on.
Yeah.
So what do you think of it?
Well, the story starts off, mobs... By the way, these monsters are fun to watch.
Oh.
Aren't they fun?
Well, yeah, the character-wise is a bit off, but yeah, to be fair, it's quite... But what do you think of the story?
A simple, earnest story basically about how difference between... I'm going to do this a lot comparing this to Kick-Ass, because the films are similar but not similar.
Yeah.
Basically, the mobsters in this film actually have a purpose.
Yes.
They're corrupting the mayor in this movie.
I mean, to be fair, they seem to have a practical goal, don't they?
They're not just there being random mobsters.
There actually has a practical, which to be fair is quite reasonable for a mobster gaining influence and power. Yes.
That's simple way to say.
Well, the thing is you don't like about it is it's slow paced, don't you?
Yeah, first time I didn't notice when we watched this movie, but second time I had to skip through the beginning a lot.
Honestly, what I noticed is, well, I don't know, I thought the progression's quite well.
No, the beginnings are very slow though.
Well, okay, it's...
Considering if you're used to like fast-paced action films today...
Yes, but when like films like Batman Begins, it takes 55 minutes before you only put the Batman suit on.
And people still hate that for a lot.
And yet, you got Blankman at least talks like 35 or roughly-ish minutes.
35.
Shorter. Because at least it's shorter. I mean, okay, the way I see it is at least it has a sense, even though the pacing is a bit slow, I still see it has a sense of progression of him helping people around the city. There is a sense of, there's a transition and also a little montage of him progressing the city and making it nicer to live in.
Kick-Ass itself does have a montage of helping people too.
And he gets beaten up.
Well, Blankman does too, it's just he does...
But he still managed to help out while avoiding getting killed.
Yeah. And he's actually smart.
And also, the difference was that he got beaten up, but at least he didn't get avoided being a hospital.
He's able to use gadgets, so he's actually still good with something.
Yeah, he's very good with gadgets. The point where he's like Batman with a budget.
And he's unlike a kid with nightsticks.
Yeah. Like, I'm cool! Until later on you use a jetpack and a Gatling gun.
Different subject, but do you think Kick-Ass is actually a nerd?
Well, to put it simply, I think in a simple way, he's more of a hipster.
And Blankman?
Well, how typical can you get? This is like the Revenge of the Nerds level of nerd. This is like the classic nerd. This is the 1950s to the early 90s kind of nerd. This is like your Point Dexter, I like to build things, I'm socially awkward, and I'm sort of like a wimpy, and then, but actually, we're really good on this. You know, it's the classic nerd, it's the proper nerd, it's the, not the angry nerd, but it is proper nerd.
The nerds you might want to throw downstairs.
But the nerd that's actually the brain, intelligence, for a change. He's actually a guy that's not just a nerd, he's actually very resourceful. Which I don't know.
Lead me on to the people around him.
Yeah.
Now, the people around him...
But anyway, the story-wise, the one thing I like about it is the humour is a bit cringe.
I like the humour.
Well, there's elements, it's like bad and cringe and all that, and it just seems like that. But there has some cool environments, I'll at least say that.
Yeah.
Would you say that?
And some nut jokes.
And anything else to say about the story-wise?
That's pretty much it.
I mean, it has some smart elements to it as well. It's like that.
Smart in the way that it's fun to watch.
It's weird. Because it is technically stupid, silly, goofy, but at least it has smart elements to it.
Yeah, smart as in the people actually...
So, although the storyline is clumsy, but somewhat enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and very enjoyable for my eyes. In fact, anything, it's incredibly
and
nice
more
to watch.
importantly, it's a funny story. So, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Okay, now, what do you think of to say in generally about the film Blankman?
Okay, so far I've watched this film 3 times.
Yeah.
First time I loved it, became one of my favourite films.
Yes.
Second time discovered it was very slow paced.
Mm-hmm.
And third time, I like it again.
Yeah, so it's like a strange okay. I mean, to be honest, I do find the film cringe on the human elements to it, and I do find the acting is a little bit goofy and silly in elements. But granted, that my mind will tell me what's wrong with silly. No, I mean, it's.
There's nothing wrong with a few crotch jokes.
It's not even that, it's just that in general, it's like it's trying to be. It is a bit overly cringe when it's trying to be humorous, and I do find the acting is quite wooden to the point where I feel like the actors don't even care what they're in, because a lot of times the May himself just sounded like he's just disinterested in what he's in. But nonetheless, it is actually an enjoyable film compared to, say, other films. Like when I watch Kick-Ass, what is the thing about Kick-Ass and Sky High? Kick-Ass is about
wanting to be a hero.
Sky High is about becoming born to be a hero and all. However, my issues with those two films for me is the execution of them, and
it's
also the mentality just seems so questionable.
Just say it, they're not organic.
Or just incredibly artificial. I mean, Sky High, I mean, Kick-Ass is trying to be tough or rebellious. You don't have to be powers and all, but it's also a film that doesn't feel like it wants to be here. It feels like it's an anti-superhero movie. It feels like it's telling you off to be a costume hero.
Don't do this, it's dangerous.
It's dangerous, it's silly, it's daft. Then what's the point watching this film when you have characters doing that? It's trying to be realistic. But the problem is, it's disinterest. It feels just genuine disinterest of what it's doing. It feels like it hates to do. It's like a Superman movie not wanting to be a Superman movie.
This is obviously treated mostly for laughs, but it still keeps the idea of making a good thing. People, once they get to see him do good things, they encourage his character.
I mean, in the end, his actions is that his actions will defy you. That's his mentality of it.
And this is literally the film that probably...
And then you got Sky High, which is a film where it's telling you you're a hero, but it's also labeling you as the thing. Remember, these are students being told...
Well, said before in the last review that it's about overcoming a label.
Yes.
You're told one thing, you'll prove you're not.
I mean, the main character is you're a sidekick, you're a hero. That doesn't work.
Or you're a villain.
You don't work. I mean, what if... Because that doesn't quite work that way.
My point is, this is an organic way of going about it.
I mean, he doesn't know what's telling him to be here. In fact, the kind of is the world's challenging him to, that it's complex, but also his brother's telling him not to be here. But while his actions prove that even though he's unwelcome,
his actions go to the point where not only do people support him, his brother joins in the madness.
Yes, or joins in. Yes. And also in the villain's influence as well. So his method and his actions makes the world isn't because his actions matter.
It sounds corny, but one man did make the difference.
And also, again, just that's the thing I like about Blankman
because he wanted to.
Also, the important thing because he has a genuine ability to influence the world around him. A lot of superheroes, even the top ones, influence very little around the world around. Organically.
So what would you say when people who like modern heroes, like action heroes, or...
That they go for the action, but when you look down to it, what have they actually accomplished other than fight a big villain or take over the world or destroy it?
Look, like you said about, if you look at things like, when was Richard Donner and Superman, 70s, 80s?
78.
And then Spider-Man, the original 2, which was Sam Raimi, which was like 2002, 2004.
Something like that, yeah.
The original ones there, where their idea was... the traditional help people out first.
I mean, DeAndre, I just generally found the enjoyment of seeing these credible people helping people, and Blankman is one of them. It's just a guy who just want to help people and not become an action scene. We're not saying explosions, not so. Oh look, a giant being that we need to fight.
That's the opposite actually. Kick-Ass wanted to be famous or attention.
Yeah.
Blankman was refusing it.
Yeah.
In this movie.
Well, the thing is, he was given an opportunity to do it, but okay. The point is that we can tell a lot of details about this general super, but generally about Blankman, it's one of those films to me. What I see in a superhero movie is a guy who doesn't want to be, doesn't necessarily just wants to help out, and not only that, his actions and influence affect around it, not just the villains.
And at the end of the day, that's why I say things like Kick-Ass is shit, because when I watch this movie, it just makes it feel.
We could always do a sequel, no doubt, but nonetheless, for the moment, we'll just do this. And although Blankman is quite enjoyable film.
One more thing to point out. This may be something you won't agree with, but people like things other than superhero movies, right?
Yes.
Imagine if you don't want to see a superhero movie, but just want to see a good film.
Yes.
This is a good comedy.
I mean, I'll let you two do in this one. There are elements with it that you can still enjoy it, whether it's a superhero movie or not a superhero movie. Mm-hmm. And there are elements to do it. I mean, to be fair, Mark Donald, the main character, the actor is quite a fun character. He has that wimpy kind of voice, but it has still the fun elements to it. And it is enjoyable nonetheless.
And if you want to see what we're talking about, check out a 1994 edition of Blankman yourself and see what we're talking
about.
Well,
if you want to watch it, it's available wherever you can. But either way, thank you for... If you have anything to say to that?
No, that's it.
Okay. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to say anything. Anyway, thank you. You take care.